All right, welcome back. So we've looked at some examples of why we would want to use just the exponential formula, and of course using logarithms to solve the exponential formula. But let's be even more general than that going forward here. Let's talk just about logarithms for the sake of talking about logarithms. And really, and I know this might get my videos demonetized, but I don't monetize them anyway, so who cares? I've got for you something very relevant to what's been happening in recent times. This video is being recorded at the tail end of March 2020, which is where the coronavirus thing is really reaching quite a serious state for the entire world. And it is so scary for a variety of reasons. It's super contagious. People don't show signs for days to weeks after contracting the disease. And also, even though it doesn't have a super high fatality rate, if you have it and you give it to someone else, it could very easily be your fault that they get sick. And even if they survive the disease, there's a chance that they have permanent lasting damage to their lungs. So it's not a great time to be out and about right now. But anyway, what I've got graphed here on the left, New York Times has graphed on the left here, is the traditional graph of an exponential growth, where it's got consistent axes ticks. On the horizontal axis, every tick mark is a day, and the vertical axis, every tick mark is 15,000 cases. And this is a linear scale here. You'll notice that we didn't have many, 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 and then all of a sudden it just shoots up in a way that makes everything before it make no sense at all. And that is the issue with trying to graph something that is exponential on a scale that is not exponential. So what if we took that same information and we tried to graph it on what's called a logarithmic scale, where instead of going up by the same amount every time, I go up by an exponential amount every time. So the first tick is now 10, the next tick is 100, then 1,000, then 10,000, 100,000. Every tick is 10 times higher than the previous. So when we go from here at the start of March towards here, week or so later, Italy reported 10 times more cases. Same here for America. We have reported 10 times more cases in this span of time. Now, the power of using a logarithmic scale is it makes it easier for people to understand what's happening, but only if they understand the fact that they're looking at a logarithmic scale. So you'll see here that Italy's rate of growth is starting to deteriorate from an exponential standpoint. From an exponential standpoint, their rate of growth has started to decline. But you would not see that in the traditional linear scale. On the other hand, America's growth rate, as of March 19th at least, was still going strong. Might have even had a bit of an uptick there at the 19th. So, based on that, it's not looking so good for us. Now, there's more data coming out. This is even now a couple weeks old, so I can't say that definitively, but the use of logarithmic scalings can help you understand exponential growth better. And that is the case. Now, when I say logarithmic scale, I mean a lot of things. Logarithmic scale usually deals with something known as orders of magnitude. How many orders of magnitude is a lot? Or how many zeros do I have to put to something before it really starts to be bad for you? For instance, for me personally, or maybe you personally, if I messed up and I lost $1, that's not really a big deal. If I lost $2, still not really a big deal. But if it were 10 or 100, that's starting to get a little less good. Or 1,000, that's pretty serious. Or if I just mess up and I'm out $100,000, that is going to break me for the whole nation, right? If there was a budgeting mishap and we lost $10,000, okay, right? The budgets for billions, if not trillions of dollars will be okay. But if they missed $1 million, that's someone should get their wrist slapped. If they lost $1 billion or $100 trillion, that's the revolution. And I want you to keep that in mind as we start talking about logarithmic scales going forward. How serious is it?